So Gamespot released an article to show how progressive and inclusive and good human beings they are at the multi-billion-dollar corporation over there, saying that Ramadan brings Muslim communities together. And a lot of gamers had negative reactions towards this. If you ask me why, of course, the progressive would say because they're Islamophobic, but I would say no, because it's cringe. You are out of touch with the community. You don't know what's going on. You are absolutely cringe. Video games are even haram if you look at the Islamic scholars and what they have to say about it. So no, you are absolutely being cringe. I asked some of my Muslim friends that play video games and they are on my server, and they have said exactly this. Yes, GameSpot, congratulations, you're cringe. Of course, people won't say this, because if they say this, it's not progressive. You're not speaking the speech. Decent human beings do not call a corporation out to be cringe. They just swallow the corporate PR bullshit. So, let's analyze a little bit on why gamers really dislike this. First of all, there used to be a time, by the way, when there was this thing called the gamer identity. And that meant that no one cared about whether you're a man or a woman. No one cared about what country you come from. No one gave a shit about any of this. You are a gamer. And by the way, this actually transcended racismus. I will tell you a story from my country. There was a big problem in the neighborhood that I grew up, which was a little bit more multicultural than others. And there was severe friction between people of Roma ethnicity and Romanians. And it was so bad that I actually did have a friend that was Roma, but his mother wouldn't allow him to play with me. And there were the arcades where everyone would go, and all of a sudden all those frictions, all of that went away, because at the arcades we were there to play video games, and it was fun and it brought people together. But then the video game journalists got enlightened by the academia, by the ladies from the gender studies department, and said, no, we need to destroy the gamer identity. So they pushed a lot of articles saying that gamers are dead, gamers are over, and instead of that, you now have consumers, and you don't have gamers. You have like black gamers, and you have gay gamers with an I, right? Homosexuals, and you got Romanian gamers, and girl gamers, and all that nonsense. And all of them have different interests, and there's a struggle. Did you know that? There's a struggle in gaming, and communities get marginalized, and it's up to the multi-billion-dollar corporations to save them. And it's, what? Nani? No one knows what's happening. Alright, I'll tell you what's happening. You got like this very out-of-touch thing where they believe that if you're a Muslim gamer, you have like some special needs compared to other gamers, and you need to be represented. And they're not talking about like making a video game that takes place in an Islamic setting, because like no one is against that, by the way. In fact, I really like Prince of Persia, which is inspired by 1001 Arabian Nights. I'm pretty sure some gender study intellectual would call it Orientalism or whatever. Which is the real reason why you don't get many Middle Eastern inspired games, because as a company you can choose to make a game like that, and then you're called a racist, and you need to hire the experts from gender studies to fact check your game and to make sure that everything is okay and not offensive, and that costs money. Or you can just make another bland game about some American issue. Or another Call of Duty where you play as a woman sniper in Stalingrad, and you're then going and fighting against the Fourth Reich and some other bullshit. Just utterly bland, lack of creativity, forgettable story. Now, I guess the way you could have some more focus on the Middle East, it would be if Middle Eastern countries would actually allow the freedom of creativity for the people there to make video games. You know, like Japan does it. That's why you have like so much Japanese culture coming into the West. Because in Japan, they have video gaming companies that make those video games. But in the Middle East, you don't have that many. In fact, I don't think you have any. Why? Because video games are haram, you fucking morons. It says so in the Quran that any type of drawing depicting actual humans is not okay. It's not halal. Read the fucking book. It's in there. It's black and white. And I'm not even going into the themes that some of these games are having. Well, you think LGBT representation is Islamic? Just a question, you know? Now, I'm not saying there aren't Muslims who like video games. Of course they do. But their imam probably frowns at it. Their imam probably don't like that. I will tell you what, they like those video games despite their religion, not because of it. I don't think they go to the mosque and they tell them, hey, you need to play the new Call of Duty game. It's really great, I heard. Fucking idiots. And by the way, they will say, well, but what about Christmas? You know, like a lot of video gaming companies are advertising Christmas. I'll tell you this, that's American as fuck. It doesn't translate very well into other countries. I mean, you know, America came up with the concept of commercializing Christmas, and Coca-Cola had the fat Santa man, and that's how it all started. But I'll tell you this, in Eastern Europe, back when my parents were kids, we didn't commercialize Christmas. It was a holiday that you spent with your family. It wasn't about the shopping extravaganza. You didn't see, like, every single company trying to pander to people. It wasn't commercialized. It was a religious thing. And I'm telling you this, like, my parents aren't very happy about the commercialization of Christmas either. So if you want to be inclusive, I'm telling you this, like, the Christians would probably want you to remove that shit rather than have all the religions be represented. But like, again, you know, the reason this is cringe is because it's tone deaf. Like, you have not asked the Muslim community, have you? And I'm not talking about, like, the guy that works at your company and happens to be Muslim, because obviously he doesn't speak for them. But ask an imam, ask an Islamic scholar. You know, because if you're about the religion, then ask the religious people. I'm pretty much sure they're not going to be in favor of it. And this is why everyone is laughing at you, you know? Like, keep the politics out of gaming. We're going to have to start having extra religious events. Like, no one likes it. No one likes it. To anyone disagreeing with the article on the net about inclusivity, remember that games celebrate Christmas and other religious events too. Yeah. I remember how most companies are trying to avoid the word Christmas and they put holiday instead. Why? Because it's not about the holy celebration. They don't think of Christ when they celebrate it. No, they think about how they can make money off of it, how they can market more, right? So they want to call it holiday so atheist people can enjoy it as well. So that Jewish people and Muslim people that happen to live in the West get to go at the store and purchase shit. That's why they call it a holiday. The holiday. Got nothing to do with Christ anymore. And I'm an atheist, by the way. I don't even give a shit, but I'm just pointing it out. Is it okay to point it out, or are we having a war on noticing? Like, you're not allowed to notice. But hey, I'm just making this video because my Muslim friends asked me. It's like, hey, do you think this is cringe? And I'm like, yeah, it's cringe. Again, it's not about, just so you can understand, it's not about having more Muslim themes in games. Because I would be okay with that. No. It's about, like, companies going like, oh, hey, it's Ramadan. Like, here's the new DLC. Here's the new cringe shit that we're having. Here's the new corporate statement to show how much we care. I would rather if they don't, to be honest. I would rather they don't about anything except making video games. But, well, we don't live in that world. Let me know what you guys think. And I'll see you all in the comment section. Take care.